You're looking at Town Square in the Villages, Florida. This is the 4th PBA senior event telecast from here. The past 3 times, bowlers competed, enjoyed the area, took their money, and went home. But this time will be different. This afternoon, someone will win big. In addition to the title and the money, this champion will win a $100,000 beautifully furnished home here at the Villages. And the competitors, normally supportive of and friendly to each other, are fighting for the keys already. Certainly a lot at stake today, no doubt about it, here at the Villages. It is the Senior Tournament of Champions. We talked a little bit about the money. Certainly that's important, but also a home awaits the winner. Hi, everyone. I'm Phil Ferguson with my broadcast partner, PBA Hall of Famer Dave Davis. And Dave, you take a look at this field, 35 senior titles among the group of 5.
Well, there are. Not only are there 35 titles, but we have 3 players who have ruled 300 games on our nationally televised finals. It is unbelievable. We may see one today.
Let's take a look now at our outstanding championship round finals field of 5. In that number 1 position, John Hricsina.
Oh, John Hricsina, he's the bull of the senior tour, I'm telling you. He is unbelievable. He played a great game against Dave Soutar last night in the final one to secure the number 1 seed today.
In the number 2 and 3 positions, Dave Soutar, he has bowled very well the past couple of weeks, and perhaps the sleeper, Ron Winger.
Well, not only is Ronnie Winger the sleeper, he's one of our 300 players, Phil. Dave Soutar, unfortunate solid 10-pin several weeks ago, although he would have been playing for the title match against Johnny Petraglia.
And the other 2 gentlemen that will be competing in the number 4 position and number 5 position, John Handegard. He's won more titles than anyone out here on the senior tour. And in the number 5 spot, hard-throwing Gene Stus.
Well, let me see if I can say this. John Handegard bought a bowling center in Nacogdoches, Texas. I got it out, pards. Nacogdoches, Texas, and kind of retired from the senior tour. Came back out this week to play in the tournament, and son of a gun if he doesn't make the top 5. Gene Stus, what can you say about Gene Stus? He's done about everything, and another 300 player.
All right, looking for your commentary this afternoon, and we're ready to bowl. Oh, the fans are ready. They've been here for quite a while. Beautiful sunshine, a few clouds. And there are the 5 players competing. Once again, the winner will receive a fully furnished house here at the Villages, valued at $100,000. And Gene Stus, the first shot of this opening match.
Not a bad average this week, huh, Phil? 230.10, 289 high game. Whew.
Got it out. Here it comes. That's in the pocket, leaving that 10-pin.
9 7/8.
Boy, Dave, when you take a look at the lanes out here under the intense heat, that will have some effect.
Well, the surface temperature is about 105 degrees on the lane, Phil. And look at that Dave Soutar averaging 230. One of the keys to Dave Soutar's game is going to be able to keep his body at the correct angle. He tends to, on the downswing from the back, he tends to go down with the ball. If he can keep that body in position all the way through, he's, I think, the guy to beat today. He is primed and ready.
Stus picks up the spare, so now Soutar for the spare. Just the 4-pin standing, and picks it up. So we have 4 players in this opening match, 1 survivor. The 1 player will meet our top-seeded player, John Hricsina. Get a good look here at 14-time senior tour winner, John Handegard, and that is pure.
Yes, it is. It's always pure with Johnny. He's just a dynamite player. Always has the ball in play. Never tries to overhook it. Always keeps it on line.
Ron Winger, 17 years of pro, 228 average this week, 277 high game. Lofted it out a little bit, and a 4-pin.
It may have been a touch slow. The one thing you're going to see today is that Dave Soutar hooks it a little more than John Handegard, who goes straight. Ron Winger hooks a little more than Dave Soutar. Gene Stus hooks it more than all of them. And our leader, John Hricsina, goes around everybody.
Soutar. The strike, and the pins now in the shadows just a bit. Will that have any kind of an effect?
Well, some of the clouds going by, you know, it may cool the fellows off. It may cool the lane surface and keep it more consistent. So we hope for a few clouds without rain today.
Well, Ron Winger bare picked it up, but he got it, and he'll run back and have a seat for a moment.
Shaved it, just shaved it.
Just a great atmosphere, a great week. The Villages, of course, last week, a big tournament, the Senior Invitational, so it's just really fun to spend a couple of weeks here.
Well, how about Norm Wetzel last week? Did he play well or what?
Stus bringing it back and sets it in. So Gene Stus, a 10-pin spare, now comes back with a strike, and he is powerful.
Strong player. I mean, look at the upper body strength he has, the arms. Ronnie Winger has a beautiful stroke, a little softer speed than the other fellows to let the ball hook. Now, as I said, his hook or curve will be in between Stus and Soutar. A little softer speed, let it roll back. If he got it out a little bit too far, may have been a little bit hard for him, but the 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, I wouldn't want to have to shoot that when I'm trying to win a tournament.
Handegard striking the first, trying to make it a double, and it's a 10-pin.
Yeah, the weak 10. See how much straighter John is than Ronnie or, say, Gene?
Winger again will attempt to pick up the spare. This is a tough one, Dave.
Yeah, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8 is there's 2 ways to make it and about 6 ways that you can miss it. Covered it absolutely perfect.
Boy, that's a pressure shot early on.
What a famous shot that is. That's absolutely beautiful.
Handegard picks up the 10-pin, and for John, one televised appearance this year. Finished 4th in the ABC Senior Masters in Reno.
That was all the way back in March.
There's the scoreboard, and boy, we are jam-packed at the top.
Hey, look at that, everybody. 20, 20, 20, and then there's Ronnie Winger. But you know what? The best shot so far of the whole day was Ronnie Winger's 5-pin spare. Dynamite shot.
Sounds like a show. 20, 20, 20. All right, Gene Stus up now in the 3rd frame. 13 events this year. Look at that, 10 top 24 appearances. Throws it out. Here it comes. Beautiful shot by Gene Stus. And again, I'm not quite sure the players are thinking about this at this time. What awaits the champion, one of these guys, that beautifully furnished $100,000 home here at the Villages.
Yeah, it's not a weeny little house either, Pards. That thing's over 2,100 square feet. It's beautiful. Got a covered lanai. I mean, totally furnished. What a great first place.
You know what? That house, just as much style as Dave Soutar has, no doubt about it, because he is a stylistic.
You want to see style? Watch this. Watch that head. Hardly any motion whatsoever.
So Handegard, strike, spare, strikes. Gene Stus, though, out to the early 10-pin lead. John Hricsina, the man on top. And he has had a terrific week. All these guys have bowled so very well. Picking up that 10-pin, no problem for Dave Soutar, who's been out on tour quite a while, 37 years.
Did you see him drop that ball? That's why he's laughing so much. It fell right out of his hand. And again, it's hot out here. You know, that makes your hand perspire. It's hard to play with a slippery hand.
A little bit different lane conditions now than at the bowling center that they bowled Spanish Springs all week long.
Well, sure, we keep the lane surface temperature at about 68 inside the bowling center. Out here, it's 105, 106 degrees. Anything can happen to these bowling balls, and it normally does.
Boy, Ronnie Winger coming through, able to set it in the pocket. So right now, Gene Stus is your leader, but it is tight at the top of the leaderboard. Back with more in a minute. Scoreboard, and it is tight right now. Gene Stus, your early leader, up 10. John Handegard, Dave Soutar down by 10, and a good look at the crowd.
Beautiful. This place is packed. It was like that when we played all week. You know, the Tournament Champions brings out the best in everybody, and it even brings out the best in the audiences that we get here at the Villages.
Soutar, 5th a couple of weeks ago in Naples, sets it in there and able to kick out the 7 and the 10.
See, now the last frame, on the right lane, he threw the ball beautifully and left a solid 10. That one he didn't throw as quite as good. And son of a gun, tripped the 4-7-10 out.
Gene Stus. Boy, does he throw a big ball.
He can take 20-pin lead over the guys right here with this strike. Got too slow, and was fortunate he didn't leave the 7 with that 6-10. But the spare doesn't walk home.
Ron Winger from Tarzana, California. Practices a lot, about 50 games a week. 5 children. Linda, Carrie, Katie, Ron, Tricia. Jam-packed house. Growing up. So Winger getting it out, lofted a little bit. Here it comes, and able to trip it out. 5 and the 7-pin went down for Ron.
Not the proverbial wall shot, but it's a very slow and genteel wall shot here at the Villages. Well, he thought he had left the 7. Okay, so he made the spare anyway. You watch this. This is what you call a very slow wall shot. 4, 5, 7. There they go, in order.
It doesn't matter how they go.
As long as they go, you're right. At the end of the match, they add up the score, not how you did it.
Put that X up there. John Handegard, boy, he has been a steady performer for a number of years. 5th place, once again in the Senior Masters. Sets it in the pocket and leaves the 4-pin. Interesting, he told me that he went to Sebring to work on his game for about a week, and they looked at everything and said, there's not a whole lot wrong with it. And John said, well, must be mental.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
So here he is this week, bowling very well. Gene Stus, leader by 3, bringing it back and sets it in and got it. So Gene Stus, the early leader, just about midway through this opening match. John Hricsina on top, our leader. Handegard. Well, I don't think he's missed a spare for about 8 years. John Handegard, a single pit spare.
Not as long as I've been out here playing with these guys. He is just so steady. Always has it on the club face. Always has it in play. Rarely throws the foul ball.
Soutar trying to work, get himself right back in position. Trails by 8, looking for a double here. Brings it back up, and the squasher, get him to go. Soutar with a couple of senior championships to go along with his 17 national titles.
Well, I wouldn't say that the guy's balls are hitting too hard right now. They've got that soft, gentle touch out there today.
Boy,
Great stroke on this guy.
Steady as a lie.
Now watch Soutar. You can see it. 2, 4, 5, 7, 8.
Those
First
Brunswick
strike.
pins, they're not heavier, are they?
Well, they weigh 3 pounds, 10 ounces. They're a little bit heavier, yeah. We use them because the guys' balls, these balls that they use, you know, there's almost no resistance if we use the really light pins, so we use a little bit heavier.
Winger looking for a 3-bagger. Oh, wiggling the 4 not to go over, so. But all 4 players very much in this opening match.
We have a foul. We certainly have a foul called. Ronnie Winger, on his first shot, that frame, called the foul. Our foul line judge, Dr. Mel Wolf, who is a senior player on our tournament committee, called the foul. And it's a hard thing to do because most of these fellows are longtime friends out here, but hey, you know, rule's a rule. When you foul, you foul. Got to call it.
Got to rattle you just a little bit. I think Ronnie just trying to regroup. I'm not quite sure Ronnie thought that he went over. Can't go to the videotape.
Well, it can cost him huge. He just got the double.
It's a matter of if he can settle down here.
Got to make the spare. This is a big shot. Got to make the spare. Oh, solid 10.
And a little conversation as Ron walks back, but again, a bit bewildered.
Well, he's disgusted with himself. You know, you don't want to push that foul line too much. We have 16 feet from the back of the approach to the foul line.
Taking a look at the scoreboard right now, and it is very close.
You can see how big that foul was. He only got 20 on the double, then got 9 out. So instead of going for 210 on the shot, he ends up 210 something. He ends up with working on a 183 game.
Soutar leading by a couple. Blows in the thumb hole, and what does that exactly do for you, Dave?
Well, he said before the telecast day he didn't know how he was going to be able to hold on to the ball. He held on to that one all right.
Beautiful shot off the hand of Dave Soutar. Wife Judy in the crowd all week. Boy, a great bowler in her own right for many years. Very supportive.
Boy, what a crowd we have here today, Phil. Just all around these 2 lanes. What a great installation the Villages did for us here. Lean on the 10. Hit it again.
Trying to hit it a couple of times, but Stus just with the 10-pin standing. Winger's got to regroup.
Yeah, he does. If he's going to have any shot at that house here at the Villages, he's got to do it right now. Can't mess around now. He's got to go for it.
Big strike. In fact, he's thrown a couple of great shots. He fouled, of course, the frame before, and then left a 10-pin on that second shot. Comes back with a strike as Stus picks up that 10-pin. Once again, if you're... Well, that's the best seat in the house right up there.
Where is he?
I think the...
Oh, I see him now. He's sitting up on top of one of the archways over there.
Oh, you had mentioned the great crowds, and if you're just tuning in, a beautifully furnished $100,000 home to the winner of this tournament. 4 players right now in match 1. The winner will face John Hricsina for the title. Smooth stroke, and John Handegard leaves just the 4.
See that finish? We call that touching. When he came up through the ball, his fingers kind of curled inside his wrist. We call it touching the ball or cuffing the ball a little bit, and it steers the ball to go high very quickly.
Handegard straight up and through. No problem with that single pin spare. So right now, Dave Soutar out in front by 12. Hey, tap into good times at Spanish Springs Brewing Company, where thirst-quenching, handcrafted beers are fresh brewed and served all around the Village's town square. The Village's just a beautiful setting for this prestigious tournament. The Village's PBA Senior TFC. Taking a look at the scoreboard right now, and it is Dave Soutar up by 12 over Gene Stus. John Handegard trails by 20. Ron Winger moments ago fouled, and he is down by 37. Bringing the ball back, set it in, got it. Stus, hard throwing right-hander, comes through. A strike in the 7th frame. All players now up in the 7th.
Boy, Gene Stus just threw that ball beautifully. He split the pins wide open. Now Dave Soutar working on 3 in a row. Went 4-pin strike, 10-pin turkey.
You talk about match play, 23-9. He won his first 7 matches and final 6 in match play to secure a position here in the finals field. And beautiful style, brings it up and kicks out the 10-pin. So Soutar now in charge.
You see how late that 10-pin went out for Dave Soutar? That's what I meant about watching his body. When he gets to the foul line, he dropped it a little bit, and you can see the ball hit a little weaker than he should have. Johnny just threw that a little hard. It's easy to get pumped up. You know, the adrenaline starts to flow. The crowd's cheering for you. Everything's going on around here. And it's so easy to throw the ball too hard. I think that's exactly what John just did.
Winger with 3 titles, 2 of those in 1993. Last one came last year in Sebring, Florida. Looks at the foul line again and strikes. Looks over to the foul judge, and is it okay? All right.
Now, Ronnie's really upset with the foul judge, but there is no foul judge I know in the PBA that would call something just to call it. So we would have to assume it was a foul.
Stus coming up now in the 8th frame. He trails by 22, 18-13 with 1 tie during the 24 games of match play. Little soft.
Yeah, he came up out of it. He came up out of that shot a little bit too early. When you come up out of it, it shortens the swing and makes the ball hook early. Got to keep that body steady. Now watch Dave Soutar, Phil, this time. If Dave Soutar's body doesn't drop down on the downswing, coming out of the backswing, he should throw the ball dead solid. Yeah. See it? See how he kind of dropped out of that shot, and it kills the speed. There's our foul judge, Dr. Mel Wolf, Jackson, Michigan.
Good shot. He's right there, watching every shot.
Oh, yeah, he's right on it.
Stus able to pick up the spare, and now with Soutar with a chance for a spare here in the 8th. Far from over, Dave.
See if he can hold on to this ball. Last time he dropped it. He dropped it again, Phil. And there you go. It fell right out of his hand. That spare ball, it's twice. It fell right out of his hand.
That has to do with the heat and humidity?
Oh, sure. It's a different texture. You can see Dr. Wolf right there. He's right on the foul line, Phil. He does not miss any shots they throw.
So right now, Dave Soutar, that open in the 8th, and that has opened the door. He still leads by 8 pins over Gene Stus.
The fortunate thing about that is Gene Stus is not working on a strike, and neither is Ron. Well, Ron Winger's working on a double. He's far behind, but neither is Handegard.
Handegard bringing it up and gets a strike. Handegard, the all-time wins leader on the senior tour with 14, 3-time PBA Senior Player of the Year.
Let's recap this very quickly. Gene Stus is working at a 208 clip. John Handegard at a 199. Dave Soutar at a 216. And Ronnie Winger is getting back in the match. If he strikes here, he'll be up to 200 again. Not out of it. Just a hair short, leaving the 2-5.
So coming down in this first match, right to the 9th and 10th frames.
All right, Winger can still spare and strike out for 211, so that's not out of the wood for him at all. Playing out there in the sun and the heat and the humidity and everything, it's just different.
Well, for
it's
Winger,
different than being inside.
You look back in the 5th frame where he fouled, but then he came back to a perfect shot and left that 10-pin.
Well, if Winger hadn't fouled there, he'd be your leader. It cost him 42 pins to throw that foul because he had strikes on either side of it. 42 pins out the window.
Dave Soutar stepping back. Soupy, a member of both the PBA and ABC Halls of Fame.
A little outdoors. He had some bugs on him.
That was bugging him.
The bug man.
He steps up now.
Is that what that B means on his shirt?
Tournament
Bug man?
of Champions. This prestigious event.
Solid. See, real solid. When his body doesn't move and he floats that swing instead of pulling down on it, it's absolutely beautiful. Now, Gene Stus, on the other hand, always comes up out of his shot. But if he comes up out of it early is when he has problems. He has to come up out of it when the ball is at the bottom portion of the swing.
Well, Stus trails by 8. If he strikes out, that's 228 for Stus. He's very much in this
Just
game.
like that.
Just the 2 pins standing for Stus. Now Ronnie Winger, he is up in the 9th frame. Finished 5th earlier this year, also a 4th place finish for Ronnie. Owns 1 of 2 televised 300 games on the senior tour.
Obviously, Ronnie doesn't agree with our foul judge, Mel Wolf, because every time he bowls on that lane, he looks at him with daggers. But, hey, you know, if you foul, you foul. What are you going to do?
Well, there'll be much discussion about that foul. But again, Mel Wolf, Dr. Wolf looking right across the foul line on both lanes.
Well, he's an accomplished player out here. He won Montreal a few years ago, so Mel knows exactly what has to happen out here.
Handegard cuts it short just a bit.
Yeah, that was high out of his hand. He knew it as soon as he let go of it that it wasn't any good. And that was a huge shot for John because he'd finally gotten a strike on the right-hand lane. He could have struck out for 220 now. Now his best, if he spares here, is 209.
Well, Dave, it looks like Soutar along with Stus and even Ron Winger, an outside shot.
Well, these are the big shots for Soutar. They're Stus's shots. Now, see, if Stus strikes out, he's going to go out at 217. If he gets all 3 in the 10th, he got the first one, he'll have 217. Handegard missed us, so that puts him out of the match completely. John is now out of the match.
Okay, we can mark John Handegard off the list here.
Right. Now, Dave Soutar is working at a 216, so if Stus strikes out, guess what? Dave Soutar has to throw the first strike in the 10th to win. Huge shot for Dave Soutar and Gene Stus right now. This is a big shot for both players.
So Gene Stus, 187 through 9, has that first strike in the 10th frame. Here it comes, and just the 10 pin. So now 207. Best possible game for Stus. Take a look at Judy Soutar.
She's a little apprehensive. She's very worried about her husband. I keep telling her this is the best he's played in 5 years, but you watch how good he throws this shot in the clutch. Always a great clutch player, buddy. Always a great clutch player. Even if he played. Look at Judy.
Well, for Dave Soutar and his wife Judy, they're going to be moving on to that championship game with a chance to win that beautifully furnished $100,000 home here at the Villages. Gene Stus will pick up the 10 pin. And for Soutar, though, he has had trouble on television. Not that his average at 223, but he's 2-12 on TV. That'll help a little bit today. Isn't
that amazing? You can have a 223 average for all those games and never win. Always picking on him.
Well, a 10 pin, but Soutar with a 225 possible, picking up the spare. Ron Winger can strike out for 211. Gene Stus already finished at 207. John Handegard 197. So your winner is Dave Soutar, at least in this first match. Tripping that 4-pin forward for Handegard. So Dave Soutar advances now to the championship match. He finishes with a 224, a little bit of a wry smile, but he will meet John Hricsina in the title game for the title. Well, Town Square is the center of fun in the Villages. Restaurants, sidewalk cafes, first-run films at the Rialto, holiday festivals, and free entertainment every night.
You can see some of the other finishes here, Phil. Larry Lobb finished sixth, but was way back at 148 pins. And Gene Stus had a torn-up finger and fought his way all the way through to 8th this week.
Of course, George Pappas won this prestigious event. Joe Hutchinson, there he is, a rookie out here on tour. Bowled his first tournament a couple of weeks ago. Steve Neff, and you can't forget Mike Durbin. A big tournament, he's there.
Well, he is there. He's got a great shot. Roger Workman played on our show a few weeks ago, and Pete Couture, Player of the Year last year.
Take a look at the finishers here in the Senior Tournament of Champions. Daryl Storkson, Johnny Petraglia. He comes out, and he's always competitive, finishing 20th.
He's got that great power ball. You know, Johnny really can hook that thing. And Roy Buckley is the opposite end of the spectrum, goes dead straight with the ball, keeps it in play at all times. Les like Zal Bongiorno, Bongos for a nickname.
Tommy Evanson finishing 26th, and lefty Don Helling finished 29th in that group.
There you go, Phil Barnes, retired policeman. Glenn Allison out of retirement, and Bobby Knipple rounds out the top 32.
The final score in the opening match, Dave Soutar coming through, 224. Gene Stus at 207. John Handegard, 197. Ron Winger finished up with a 191 on your championship match. It will be Dave Soutar taking on powerful John Hricsina. A $100,000 home awaits the winner. And we're ready for the championship match. Dave Soutar taking on our top seed, John Hricsina.
John Hricsina chose, because he is the leader, the top seed, he chose which lane to start on and which lane to finish on. He wants to finish on the right. Whatever reason, that's what he wants to do. Nice average, huh? 232.
Can still bowl, bringing it out. Sets it in there and leaves that 9-pin. I thought that was all 10 in the pin.
See, that's the power. In fact, that ball actually overpowered the pins. Cut the 5 straight off, no deflection into the 9. The ball's supposed to deflect a little bit to touch the 9. It never did it at all.
Pick up the spare.
Dead straight. He can throw it dead straight. As much as he hooks it more than any of our top 5 finalists today. And but when he shoots the spares, you'll see he'll throw hard and he'll throw it straight.
Well, that was just a beautiful shot off the hand of Hricsina. Dave Soutar started off 15th and then made his way up. Stumbled there in the 3rd round, 14th, but then caught fire and is in the top 5. And right now has a chance to win this event. Bringing it around and kicks out the 10-pin. So Soutar with a strike.
The one thing about it, you know, if he shoots 300, he doesn't ever have to worry about using that other ball, that plastic ball that he uses for his spares. He'll never have to put his hand in it. Just throw 12 strikes and don't worry about it.
That's the only problem that he had in the first match.
That's exactly right.
Soutar up in the 2nd frame. Member of both the PBA and ABC Hall of Fame. Won the Masters in 1973. His 17 national tour titles include the 1961 PBA National
1961?
Yeah.
You weren't born then.
Oh, yes, I was.
That could go high.
Oh,
how about that one, buddy? Tripped that 4. That's a late 4. The head of the 2-pin came and got it. Now watch the 2-pin. Just keep your eyes on the 2-pin. Just left the head pin to the wall and nudges the bottom of that 3-pound, 10-ounce pin. Look at him. Uh-oh, I've left the 4-pin. I've left the 4-pin.
Back with John Hricsina. Boy, that is a pocket shot for a strike. You take a look at Soutar, though, methodical. I mean, the same way, whether it's practice, qualifying, television show, it seems, Dave.
Oh, sure. It doesn't make. Dave plays his game, and he's playing better than he has in 5 years. It's just a fabulous thing to see great players get their game back in shape, and John Hricsina is one of them. Boy, does he rip at it.
Hricsina, 3rd frame, spare strike, looking for a double, bringing it back, and no.
Look at that pin wobble. Boy, that's amazing. That pin was a way over, and it refused to go.
3 pocket shots for Hricsina, just 1 strike to show for it.
Now watch how straight he throws it, Phil. Throws it hard and straight.
No problem with that 10-pin, so it's Hricsina and Soutar battling it out here in the Village's Senior Tournament of Champions. Soutar up by 10 pins. Go through the same routine.
Oh, yes. Now, again, I can't express this enough. If he keeps his upper body quiet, keeps it quiet, keeps it moving at the same pace without dropping it, he can strike every time.
That's a 10-pin. Good shot.
Close. Close, not 100. Even though the ball ended up solid, I wouldn't call that 100. I'm sure he wouldn't either.
Soutar finished third in the National Senior Doubles out in Reno, and also a 5th place finish in Naples.
Well, here we go with that plastic ball. See if he can hold on to it. Last game he dropped it every time. He dropped it again, but he's dropping it in exactly the right place.
Bit tentative, but there's the scoreboard right now through 3 frames. A 9-pin advantage by Soutar, looking for his 3rd senior championship.
And you see right across the top of the Village's Sunball Tournament of Champions sign? I see that Bashara Bakery. You think we can go there when this is over? That thing's fabulous, boy. They make everything right on the premises.
You put on a couple pounds this week.
Well, you can't help it. I love brownies.
Soutar wiping the ball off. Taking some of that oil off, huh, Dave?
Well, not only that, but maybe wiping the holes a little bit, too. His hands perspire. He's just one of those fellows that has a lot of perspiration in his hands. I'm the other way. My hands are very dry. Oh, that was a pretty shot there. Great roll on that shot. Boy, you see what happens, the difference? That roll picks up, it gets heavier, and bingo.
You could tell that right off his hand. Let the good times roll at the Village's Bowling Centers, Fiesta Bowl, and Spanish Spring Lanes. Each feature 32 lanes of bowling fun. And beautiful skies overhead. A few clouds. We'll get this in, no doubt about it. The Brunswick Zone Senior National Championship. That's upcoming Thursday, October 28th, 2 o'clock Eastern Time from Jackson, Michigan. They always put on a great show. It's the Brunswick Zone Senior Championship, but it's not going to rain today, especially with a home to the winner. We can all go in there later on and get away from the rain.
There it is. You know, we talk about this, and maybe we belabor the point a little bit, but coming out of the commercial, you know, you've got 2.5, 3 minutes to sit there and think about it, and everybody gets slow. Now watch how hard this ball hooks. It just snaps to the left. Almost impossible not to split on that. And he went for it. You know, he throws that ball 100 miles an hour on that second shot, and he went for it. It only cost him 1 pin. He was working on a spare, so he's down to 65, working on a 185 game. Dave Soutar striking the 4th, working on a 209 game. So he's 24 behind. John's got to get it going.
Hricsina with 7 senior championships. There you see the score, 65-4 for Hricsina. Bringing it back, and it's going to be just a 7-pin, but he has thrown some quality shots 4 out of 5 frames.
That was a strange ball, or a strange reaction by the pins. That ball hooked so much, and yet the 5-pin almost didn't go down. Like it was sandwiched in between something and never got over to the 7. It was a spare ball.
John picks it up, retired mail carrier. Better be careful. He's going to have to pack his bags pretty soon here. Married to Susan, 4 kids. John, Bill, Sandy, and Valerie. Loves stock car racing and hunting, and sings a bit, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He's got a great voice.
Great voice.
Now, see, Dave Soutar can put this match almost out of the wood. By getting a double here, it'll put him in the 220s. He'll be 40+ ahead. But he's got to make great shots. Keep the body still and just go through. Pretty close. Pretty close, huh? See how nice he's still that body? Same thing with John Hricsina. When John Hricsina keeps his body still, when he doesn't let it get over and he cuts the swing short, he makes fabulous shots. But I guess that's what it is with all of us, you know?
Has Dave ever run out of shot? Dave Soutar? Is it just...
Well, he kind of claps his hands every now and then. You can see the score here. Dave Soutar with a double spare double, and John Hricsina with that unfortunate open in the 4th. He's 34 behind right now. Dave can put him 44 behind.
Soutar up in the 6th frame out of Bradenton, Florida. Picture perfect swing.
Big shot for both players right here. Little dip. Oh, and he got the 10 out. See that little dip on the downswing? It's what he's been working on to stay away from. But you know what? You got to get lucky every now and then. Right now, he is in absolute total control.
Hricsina, the 1990 PBA Senior Rookie of the Year, has got to get it going here in the 6th frame. He's down by 44. Bringing it back into just the 2-pin this time.
John looks a little bit confused, and it's surprising because prior to the telecast today, when he was practicing on this pair of lanes, he was just killing him. Just killing him. Good, straight at it. No chance to hook pass or anything. No mistakes. But he's still in the game.
So
he spares in the 6th. You know, he can strike it out for 224. Now look at this Dexter footwork of the pros by John Hricsina. You can see these steps real short, get a little bit longer, then 2 quick ones at the end. Boom, boom. And rips through that ball, just rips through it.
Boy.
But you can see how his body's a little bit over, and it shouldn't be quite that far over.
Big strike there. That's Dexter's footwork of the pros. Hricsina, a little bit of a smile there in the 7th frame, but Dave Soutar up 45. Kick up your heels and dance the night away at Katie Bell's Dining and Music Hall, where good friends gather for a great time on Town Square in the Villages. Welcome back. We're at the Villages, the Tournament of Champions at Town Square. Just a beautiful week. Phil Ferguson, along with my broadcast partner in the booth, Dave Davis and Dave Soutar. A critical shot here in the 7th frame, even though he has a comfortable lead.
Well, it's a critical shot for he and John Hricsina. He's got a 45-pin lead. He increases here to 55, which would put him in the 230s plus. And the best John Hricsina can get is 224. So this is a huge, look at her. You talk about praying.
You got to look to watch what your husband does, and he gets a big strike. And she probably didn't have to look because they are cheering.
Well, do you think if Dave wins this thing, Phil, maybe we could go to Augustine's or Cafe Olay for dinner afterwards? You think he'll buy?
But I'll tell you what, yeah, he's probably going right back to his house because the winner of this year's Senior TSC wins a fully furnished house here at the Villages valued at $100,000.
Maybe Judy will cook for us. Maybe not.
That'd be a first. No. She's a great cook. Soutar averaging 230 this week.
Being careful, being very careful. This is the lockout shot of the tournament for him. It'll put him in the 240s, and there's no way John could catch him even if he makes an error that way. So this is a huge shot.
8th frame.
This is the title shot right here, folks. That's what you call a quality professional. Boy, he kept his body under control. You know, the nerves, the pressure. This is a $110,000 or $115,000 shot he just made.
And for Dave, he hasn't won. I mean, he's won a lot of titles, but hasn't won since Jackson, Michigan in '94. So, again, it's that being able to win again.
Oh, boy, yeah. You just always have doubts. Tracy Matthews, Vice President of Special Events, and what a job she and all her volunteers did this week. It's just unbelievable. We had volunteers everywhere. Couldn't drop something and somebody wasn't picking it up for you, bringing you water. Fabulous people here at the Villages.
It's just been a great couple of weeks, really, with last week, the Invitational. Norm Wetzel winning that one, and the shot setting in there, tripping the 4 forward. Now he gets it.
Well, he's working on 2-0 now. He can strike out for 220. You know, if Dave Soutar goes open, he could still lose this.
Wow.
What are the odds on that?
He has thrown just one quality shot after another here for the past couple of games.
And the breeze came up, so he's got to watch he doesn't get blown offline here. You can see the breeze blowing in the back, blowing our papers and everything all over the place. This should be a high hard one here, buddy. High hard one for the title.
Dave Soutar. And is that the reaction?
Yeah, that's it. He's really excited. He's jumping out of his shoes. Judy's crying. Look at her shaking.
Oh, yeah, she's thinking about the plans about the house, and you know, it's fully furnished, but there's still some, you know, decorating
Well,
plans.
she's always decorating. You know, they drive the tour. She's the representative out here for one of the major companies, and she is always picking up this here and that there. So she'll have this thing redecorated in a few weeks.
One room will be blue, green. Soutar.
All right, Dave Soutar with another strike. You know, Dave Soutar can strike out for 279. Not a bad championship showing by either player. John Hricsina missed the pocket one shot, and that was it.
Well, Soutar left the 10-pin in the 3rd frame. Other than that, just strikes.
Quality shots, one after another by both players. You know, John came out of the commercial, went a little high, got a little slow for the 4-7-10, and that's the only error either one of them's made.
I think I see a smile on Dave's face. Looks like another decent shot, but a little bit high.
Yeah, you know, I don't really think he cares at this point. Fabulous shot, fabulous bowling by both players. The Villages just treats us right. It's a very relaxing week. We stay in the condos right here in the Villages. They're just beautiful. Look at Mom Soutar. She's not only crying, she's shaking.
Soutar's going to pick up his 3rd senior championship. I'm sure this one's the biggest.
She might even give him a hug today. What do you think?
Picks up the spare. 17 national titles. There you go, Dave.
Yeah, that's it. He's really excited now.
Now he knows he won.
Oh, boy.
267 for Dave Soutar. John Hricsina can strike out for 224. Great effort by our top-seeded player. And Dave, I always feel kind of sorry for the guy who has led the tournament and then happens to lose in that final match.
But you know what, Phil? It's what makes our format so exciting. I mean, there's 4 fellas vying in one game to see who's going to go up against John Hricsina. And then it's head-to-head, buddy.
Hricsina trying to pick up the spare, does that. John's bowled very well here over the years that we've been here to the Villages.
Well, John bowls very well everywhere. These two fellas, you know, as we said, in a long format such as this, we had 3 8-game blocks of qualifying, then 32 head-to-head matches. So that gives us 56 games, and the cream always rises. Always rises.
So John finishes out the game and fires a 196, but Dave Soutar now throwing some items to the crowd, but Soutar is the winner of the Villages Senior Tournament of Champions. And Dave, we talked about it before, but you win the prize. This is a prestigious tournament. You won the Tournament of Champions a couple of times on the national tour. It means so much, but also a home to go along with it.
Unbelievable. It's time for the GINKOBA moment of concentration. With Dave Soutar taking that supplement, he produces shots that look just like this. Great roll, solid strikes. Phil Ferguson, it's down to you, partner, and their champion, Dave Soutar.
All right, thanks a lot. And Dave Soutar's wife, Judy, certainly congratulations, Dave, a big win.
Thanks, Phil. This is the happiest day of my life, besides marrying my wife.
I had to say that.
Yeah, this is fantastic. I mean, the Villages are terrific, and now I'm a resident of the Villages. You know, that's great.
David Bushman has the check, Director of Bowling Operations here at the Villages.
Dave and Judy, I'd like to present this to you on behalf of all the Villages. Welcome to our fine family.
And you notice who grabbed the check? I didn't get it again.
Now, let's bring in Tracy Matthews. This is unbelievable. I'll tell you what. Tracy is the Senior Vice President for Special Affairs here at the Villages. And Tracy, just a beautiful trophy, and there's a little key inside there. Tell us about it.
Well, it's a key to a beautiful Biscayne model out here in the Villages, and we're very proud to present it to you today.
A beautiful home that you can move in. Now you got 2 homes here in Florida.
That's great. It can't be any better. I have a lot of roommates all of a sudden. All my friends want to move in. And Tracy, once again, you've been great. I'd like to thank you and Dave Bushman and Steve Sanders. And I'd like to special thanks to Bob Benoit from Brunswick. He really talked to me last night, and I think he put me over the edge. I mean, excuse me, Rick. Sorry, Rick Benoit. Bob's his brother, the bowler, you know.
All right, well, congratulations, Dave.
Thanks a lot.
Just a thrilling win. Tracy, thank you very much. And David, and don't go away, because we're going to be talking to our champion. Maybe get a comment from his wife, Judy, who wasn't looking for most of the final few frames of that final match, Dave.
She wasn't?
We'll be back with Dave Davis and our champion in a minute.
All right, Dave Soutar. I'm here with Dave Soutar and Judy Soutar, our champion here at the Village of the Tournament of Champions. David, John Hricsina came out of the commercial, the first commercial, and everybody's tendency is to throw the ball soft. It just happens that way. He unfortunately had the 4-7 tennis sprung you loose. You came out after the 6th frame, and I know you had to be thinking about it because you threw the ball hard.
I actually was a little bit, but I just really tried to concentrate. I just moved a little bit left because that's a tendency to throw it slow after the commercial, and that's probably when it went light, but fortunately I did carry it, so I'm thankful for that.
Well, you were thankful for all the strikes you got today. Judy, you got $10,000 there someplace with a beautiful key to that nice new home. Are you going to use the 10 grand to redecorate that baby?
No, it was beautiful. We went by and saw it this morning. Perfect colors, perfect everything. I think I probably have them build it exactly the same way.
Well, you said there was a little puppy dog or something in the house. Tell me about that.
Well, we had basset hounds. We had 4 basset hounds, and when we went there this morning, I said to Dave, Maynard's already here. There was a statue of a basset hound, and to me it was like an omen. The dog's there waiting for us.
Well, isn't that wonderful? Dave Soutar, the ball, you kept dropping the spare ball.
Yes, I did. It just kept falling off my hand, and I kept putting tape in it, but it kept falling off. I told the people in the back the last game, I don't need to shoot any spares the last game.
Well, you almost didn't. I'll tell you, Phil, I'm here with a champion. It's back to you, buddy.
Oh, yeah, true. Thanks a lot, a classic champion. Thanks for watching the Villages PBA Tournament of Champions. Congratulations to our winner, Dave Soutar, his third senior title. For Dave Davis, I'm Phil Ferguson saying goodbye from sunny Florida. Don't forget to join us for our next senior PBA telecast, the Brunswick Zone Senior National Championship, Thursday, October 28th. Once again, congratulations, Dave and Judy Soutar.
That's our show for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. I know my wife enjoyed it immensely. And remember, when you're in Florida, visit us at the Villages and come and see our new home. My wife will make you coffee.
This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more sports, log on to ESPN.com.